Hey, this is Dan, first-person looter, and I am going to be reacting to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase 2. I started to watch it just on my own. I figure I don't need to do reactions to everything, but I felt my jaw dropping, so we're gonna play it, and I'm gonna react. I kind of actually skipped to the first moments of gameplay. They introduced a couple of people and they went to a gameplay. We saw that as an introduction in the first gameplay, I believe. I don't remember that or that. They're adding stuff. I'd like to remember what game engine they used, if it was Unreal or if it was their own engine or Havoc.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
And from the Avalanche team, we have Game Director Alan Tu.
Hello everybody. And
Systems Designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
And finally, just off-screen capturing gameplay for us, Andrew Corum. Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via Broom Flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts.
Cool.
And we're starting right
Yeah, this is where
the last gameplay showcase just outside Hogwarts.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love that you can walk out of the castle after.
And like the first thing I thought while watching this was I don't see any noticeable pop-in.
That's something that you particularly like about.
I'm trying to keep my eyes on like the distance and not what's directly in front of me.
Just being able to hop on the broom and
Look at all of the foliage.
The sensation of everything being open to you.
And this is PlayStation 5 again.
That I can get to things. I love flying close to the ground, and I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel
I'm like looking at the roadway down there and I'm not seeing pop-ins. The reflection, maybe.
All those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just I have a broom and it's done.
I like that there's no like music going on either.
So you see in the lower right there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known and advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, we're not at
this foliage is crazy.
We're at the 11.
I love the fall colors.
I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world just looks so. By the way, the broom, is that like the only one, or can you like?
I love the it just can spawn under you. You don't have to go look for a broom.
Shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop. And so that sells a variety of different brooms. And it was important to us that the player could customize themselves based on their own aesthetic. So they're purely cosmetic.
Okay, I was just about that. I was like different brooms.
Talk to the shopkeep and help him out. He'll actually sell upgrades.
Yeah, and those upgrades will make it so that where normally the broom,
okay, now I can sort of see
go at max speed.
level. I can see details kind of popping in, but so much of it already seems to be loaded.
As you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop, and so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner at the sporting goods store in
on earth
is trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better, and you can participate that and get better and better brooms through that.
Yeah, there's like shadows, like the little tiny bits of shadows that each blade of grass creates is kind of loading in.
You're not just flying high over everything, although it is beautiful, something I really love doing, but
oh, and some of the trees have some shadows, but it's so little compared to what I'm used to. Oh my god, even on PS5.
Surfing vibe over the.
I'm okay. My eyes are starting to focus more and more and more on the little pop-ins, but it's just so little compared to what I'm used to. Wow.
I think that's what it is.
No, it's
a little shadow down there.
Well, we're actually gonna land here, and I feel like that you call it.
I like this little bit of a motion blur.
It's just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as, and so. We all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village within Britain.
Hogsmeade? Hogsmeade?
Meet other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of, barren as you leave
like
this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the Scottish Highlands. And so it's those, and so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories, how those different locations have kind of like learned.
Keeping an eye on how his feet
are with characters at home.
physically interact with the ground.
So they're both quest opportunities out here and a chance to kind of get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced.
Oh my
you
gosh.
also notice on the mini map like lots of little icons. And
Oh, yeah, a lot.
represent
Oh, I'm in
gameplay
front of that,
in
I think.
hamlets
Yeah, I'm in
that
front of
you
that.
participate in. You know, whether it's a vendor or different puzzles and challenges or different secrets that exist. Each one of those icons are different opportunities for gameplay. And you'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, you know, that you can solve. That actually
At least with this stream, it kind of looks like 30 frames a second. 2160. Doesn't say if it's 60. Oh, 60. Okay, so it's a 60p upload, but the game itself looks like 30. Not that I don't care. I like 24 frames a second. That's
visit them. You might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic.
because that's how movies look, and I like things to look cinematic.
Encounter different enemies.
That's just me.
Sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards, might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around.
I mean, I ran away.
Different gameplay loops. Whoa.
Points on the map just by going over there.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is
boat?
getting on our flying mount. We're gonna hop on our Onyx Hippogriff here. The Onyx Hippogriff is our pre-order bonus.
Oh my god, there he just like pops out of the...
That's cute.
Wait, you can use it as a horsey? I mean, a horse? I mean, that is a horse?
Yeah, as a hippogriff, you can totally ride it like a ground mount, and you can
Wow.
into the,
But this is a pre-order
we try to make
bonus.
sure that
Okay.
Each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed.
That enemy was level 18, so there's at least 18 levels to
Sometimes it's
go.
really nice to get on the hippogriff because of
I
that.
wonder how many there will be.
Or those transitions, and sometimes it just feels amazing just to.
There's some
ride
glitches at the
around on
top
it.
left,
Yeah, it really is.
unless
kinda
that's the stream.
I don't know. It's a great feeling being on it, and it's a great feeling managing those transitions, kind of going from run to fly, and just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that each one of these things that you can interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being.
And oh my god, like I see like different like areas, like a swampy area. By the way, can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? Or there are regions that are like locked from you?
Yeah,
or,
as soon
like-
as you.
I
there's
can't
a
imagine
moment
anything's
where
locked.
The world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment.
Maybe a building you can't get into or something, but
And so you might find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned the swamp. But there we have got like
yeah, they're moving smooth 60 frames a second, but the game
in
looks
the world just to kind
30.
of, pepper your experience, reward you for exploring, keep things fresh. All those things exist as we're moving around.
So cool. And I love that windmill. It's like so rustic. Like I keep forgetting that this is like 1800s. The Wizarding World we've never really seen before. Like it feels so authentic. Like it's part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too, and I'm gonna have Andrew stop here. We're gonna use a bit of dev magic to change the seasons. Actually, I want you to see what this world looks like, covered in snow.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Wow, a completely different season like that? Entering dev commands. Whoa.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness. This is so pretty.
I'm so used to, you know, areas of the map are always snowy, and then areas of the map are always, like, not snowy. That's what I'm used to. To actually see it.
Like gameplay impact, like impact on the gameplay, or does it?
Are roads, like, more slippery? Can you...
Of Scotland.
Yeah, we really use it as a narrative marker through the game. So as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was
Things are going to be getting worse in the winter.
have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies where, you know, you'll see kind of like the title card winter and now the landscape has changed and you're really feeling that passage of time while you're a student, you know, going through your year at
Right.
Hogwarts. And I think I think we wanted to duplicate that. And for me, it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which I agree, I think it looks really beautiful, but within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts to holidays and the school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments change. That really helped just kind of...
Very cool. The decorations changing around the school. Yeah, I like that.
It's not just, you know, for the seasons, those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle, even though similarly, like it's largely about vibe, when you go into Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets down. When
They've all gone home
and students
for break.
As you're walking through the halls. But in that...
It'd be cool if certain magic isn't as effective during different holidays, if there's magic that...
You know, whether or not you can collect them, or
I don't know.
you can interact with them, that are a little bit...
I've only seen the first Harry Potter movie and maybe a little... No, I did see a little of the second.
Flying up here, really high up on the hippogriff.
And I haven't read any of the books.
Just looking at this view of Hogwarts in the distance, it's just absolutely beautiful. It's part of what I love most about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things.
Oh yeah, there goes a little bit of okay, little foliage, and that little farm was popping in.
Like, no matter, I played this so much.
This farm right here.
I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students, the professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, you know, to the library, to class, or to greenhouse, or to my common room.
That little wolfie popped in.
And just kind of like one space is...
No, I don't want to hurt animals. Please, can we stop with animals being things that you can kill in games?
As much as we want to spend a lot more time out here just flying around, experiencing the world, I think this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to combat. This time we're going to really go a lot more of a deep dive.
I thought it was pretty deep dive in the last video with combat, showing you which buttons did which and building up this, that, and the other thing.
Forbidden Forest, where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is.
Oh, the chromatic aberration on the tree trunk at the very top.
I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually part of the world. It's integrated into the world, so your experience is more immersive than just choosing an option from the main menu of the game or something like that.
Reason to go to the Forbidden Forest.
Exactly. There are many reasons.
So this whole area you can only get by purchasing the extra content?
Cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out the Thestral, which is part of that Dark Arts pack from the
I don't want to pause and rewind like I did
edition. So we're going
in the last video.
Full Dark Arts here.
That's good. That's fine.
I just want to let it play out.
But I like this this battle arena. It is a great place to show off really combat in a big way, because it unlocks some interesting abilities for you and allows you to really play around
little mushrooms are dancing
in a deep way.
And is this
or flowers, whatever they are.
Arena like this in the game, where you can like practice? And
so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally.
Okay.
And so everyone has access to those.
Okay.
And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves, in order to earn a different cosmetic for your character and add that to your collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true.
I am going to pause it. Fight waves of enemies in this battle arena with the unforgivable curses. Avada Kedavra, Imperio, and Crucio, as well as the blasting curse, in addition to their unique and devastating effects. Unforgivable curses break through all shield tribes. Now, is it that this particular arena says you can only use this particular type of magic, and you only get to try this magic once you're at this arena? So if you don't have a DLC that has these other arenas, will you not have access to the magic that they are requiring you to use? Like maybe once you beat it, then you get to keep that magic forever, not just these customizations, that they're cosmetic customizations that they're talking about. I don't know.
That arena, but one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices in order to kind of like add that to their repertoire, and they can also commit to that down with certain talents and things like that.
And there you go.
When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have access to all those things as kind of like a way to test them all. And so it's a chance to kind of like tour and play with the Dark Arts and decide whether or not that is a path that you kind of want to go down.
I'm seeing multiple groups of colors, so I guess there's like those 4 yellow ones are all magical spells that have to do with one area. Maybe flying because the broom is yellow. Maybe the red ones have to do with fire spells, and the blue ones are water spells, and green ones are earth spells. Or maybe one's air, water and air, I don't know.
But yeah, everyone has the same ability to explore the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
And again, a great place for us to show off combat in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start battling.
Purple. I was gonna. He's purple, so maybe those purple things that we saw were the Dark Arts. Purple is Dark Arts.
Oh, he just about the cadavers right away. Oh my god.
We're starting off strong.
Oh my god.
He's got a little Xbox logo on him.
Oh my god. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on? PlayStation says when you play on PlayStation, we make the enemies get the Xbox logo. Talk about console wars.
You'll notice right away, like when we used Avada Kedavra, that guy's health bar went from instant to 0, and we really are trying to honor the way Avada Kedavra works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. You'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to
a little
kind of
cooldown.
build up as a way to kind of deal with its extreme power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then there's some ways that will probably...
That's pretty common. Take a weapon or ability that's super strong, but you can't use as much
on the screen that you just have
as
questions
often.
about.
Like I see like little blue things popping from the enemies. Also, before like that sign, well, it's like, so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how
These
it's
little
called
particles.
in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing in the game, we reference that as your ancient magic community.
Oh, so it is ancient magic.
That is, yeah. So as your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to some of the secrets about your own kind of mystery and your own abilities, you start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy.
That's like control. I love playing control with that.
L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head. That's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful ancient
The
magic
Devastator,
spell.
2 whole minutes underwater.
And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's fighting that force him to move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the
See, why
battlefield.
can't Forspoken have this amount of like other stuff going on? Like Forspoken looks like it has good combat. I get at least, you know, colorful all over combat, but then the world still seemed sparse and the characters didn't seem very interesting, and I can't believe that I'm hearing that, I don't know if this is true, that people are playing like a demo. I don't know how you get the demo, but they're saying there's an option to turn off or at least choose to have much less dialogue for your main characters, because that's how much people don't like it. Like, these graphics look to be about on par. Forspoken looks to look like this when they're actually showing you something that's populated. Like when she went into that one area, that stone area that kind of looked like old school Greece or whatever, it was like nothing there. The light looked really flat. All the textures were just kind of just very one-dimensional. But then there were some areas that looked a little bit more populated with intricacies and details and stuff that I feel reached this level. But this has so much more stuff going on. I don't know why Forspoken can't do that. It almost looks like the same game engine, really, but I know Forspoken uses the Luminous engine, which I guess was their in-house engine, so this can't be that, because this is a different company. This is not Square Enix. So
Actually a good link to the Ancient Magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because as you're doing different things in combat, you're Protegoing and you're doing different abilities, and you can kind of spec into it with your talent.
And they're both using all of this purple.
Faster and faster. So one of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo.
Combos.
It's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point,
My hands are already getting sore watching this because
their magic kind of
when I'm
falls
playing,
out of them. You'll see the blue orbs in the game world.
I just get so tense.
In the narrative in the world, and it's another reason.
And then my hands start clenching more.
Go up and collect those things and suck them in. They give big.
To take a break and
ancient magic meter.
oh, you can hear the crackety cracks.
About spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change.
And I have mixed feelings about highlighting them because it takes the realism away a little bit.
What's going on with the plants and potions?
As I say about magic, but
tools are really interesting because they're basically like
at least I get to know who I'm
bring the potions and
gonna
the plants
affect.
that you grow in the Room of Requirement to combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving. So against big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls.
You just put it on.
That's super
There you
helpful.
go. How long does it last? Where's the
Like he's just destroying.
one hit?
From whatever the kid.
Obviously, we have the Wiggenweld potion as well, which increases your health. And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks about having to
That did, like,
balance
nothing to him.
Abra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a focus potion, and that will increase how quickly your cooldowns regain.
Right. Oh my God. There's just so much like.
I'm gonna be so overwhelmed.
Like what the character is doing to the troll.
Are there things that he's weak to that you can find out what elements he's most weak to?
And the troll makes it move
God.
around too. It's like.
And I love that our plants are violent.
Yes, and so that's like when we were talking about the setup of the arena. You also have plants that you can fight with, and so we have things like the venomous tentacula that you can put down, and it acts like a turret, and it just kind of shoots.
Oh yeah, an acid turret.
That is so cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuffian way to approach the battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple ways. And so you can see there's a ton of different things that you can use. The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to be stuck in my style.
I like that too. It forces you to try something that you might not have tried before, and then you might end up loving it and want to do it.
Blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or...
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream, and the field guide challenges, this is the way that the field guide manifests like challenges for you to do in combat. And exactly to your point, we just wanted a way to...
He's just throwing a pillow?
To explore the different systems to help them decide.
Do the things that you can throw regenerate in the, or do you just run out of things to throw eventually?
X's on characters.
That's right.
And that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like links the fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you get as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage. And so we have Vada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy,
they'll all be insta-killed?
Dead for that kind of ultimate...
That's sort of like
and so,
when I was playing freaking
Dark Arts fantasies, there's fantasies about being more of a defense against...
The Lord of the Rings, where you can brand everybody and then
occasionally being used on the battlefield.
have them all kill themselves.
We can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep on the fly or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
Level 18 is green, so he must be playing as at least a level 18.
So much complexity, and I want to just try it myself, like which style works.
Can you do
best.
all of this from the very beginning?
It's gonna be the easiest route.
From level 1?
That
Our
ancient
audience.
magic, to be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of plants and potions, we're going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable
Aw.
curses away, and heading to the Room of Requirement, which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalized.
Why does this look so
space,
picture? This
that
looks
actually has
terrible.
some
Why does their
utility as
picture
well,
look so
where you get to
awful?
Brew things and grow things and
It looks so
also care for
splotchy.
some beasts. All right, Andrew's got us.
Well, this
in
looks
the
great.
Room of
That was weird.
Requirement, wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice jumper. And I think that's a good jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
This is his room?
Important to us that this space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes, to really just hammer home that this is yours. You
Oh
can
my
change-
god!
And it happens so fast. It just happens right then and
I
there.
expected that to be. Oh my god.
That's the thing, is not only can you change the architecture here, but you can actually conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So there's like
Such a large part of the environment that changed so quick.
just a bunch of little things that really flesh out the space and bring it to life.
Oh my goodness, because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout
Oh, I like that they have aligning tools. I was about to ask about that.
That's so cool. And you change color?
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can make it basically anyway.
Tiny little chair.
It's like for Baby Niffler.
And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive, and so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing this in the
Yeah, it
world
doesn't show
as
up like it's a menu.
character, but the way you've blended like that gameplay with the immersive design of personalizing
Oh
the
my
space.
god, like, and I love the animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's.
And it's highlighted, so you can grab that too.
It is
Whoa.
really quite beautiful, and that was the thing, is we wanted that to look really nice because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere.
I would love to see someone, because you can shrink it down like that. I would love for someone to do like the Lord of the going back to Lord of the Rings, have like a forced perspective look, shrink something down and bring it really close and make something really big and push it far away. And, you know, have people be able to walk into your room and think like, oh, this is all the same size. And then as they get closer, it's like, oh, wait a minute, everything's different. That thing that I thought was close to me was actually just really big and far away.
And it's whimsical. We really wanted to nail that whimsy in this space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can
Oh,
change
things are just sort of bouncing around, having a good time.
with the utility objects as well. So you can
It's like if a Bob Ross painting was alive. I mean, it's happy little trees and this little cloud. He's happy. Every tree needs a friend, and this looks like if Bob Ross paintings were moving.
we have planting pots and potion stations, and you could change the look of those as well. And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your potions.
Right.
So while you're also doing these like kind of nurturing based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear.
Oh, it's sort of
to be
floating too when it
identified
whips
and
around. It kind of
has,
changes the gravitational
on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
thingamabobs.
We keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on a, like in the game you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to, but the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially we just know that clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical properties, and as you explore and as you adventure and as you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities, and that can help you in your journey and are a major part of you kind of growing as a wizard and advancing as a wizard. And so
There's a huge list.
and not all the time, whenever
My eyes are glossing over with all the words, but
necessarily know exactly
I'll pause
what
it and go
does.
back and look at it myself.
So there is a station inside of the Room of Requirement that you can conjure, it's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Right, yeah, that's so cool.
And then as this space advances even further, and the space will eventually grow its own rooms, and you're going to get new recipes.
That's interesting. They'll have gear that they're not going to tell you what it is until you bring it to that station.
As it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. Those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look.
So that's like what I'm doing in Far Cry 6.
Look like that, but you can change it to look.
In Far Cry 6, I can get like a baseball hat that protects you from one thing, and then there's like the alligator helmet that protects you from something else. And I like the stats of the alligator helmet, but it looked ridiculous, and I can just make it look like the baseball cap. But it does everything that the alligator helmet did.
Like whatever you want.
That's so cool. And like you can just put some ability to this sweater, but then you can just swap that ability.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you really specific abilities that blend in nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or talents and things like that.
Necromantic
I'm
protection.
That they're just like pumpkin fur, mooncalf fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that
the only necromantic I know is the movies about the
upgrade your gear are based around.
Well, the first one's about a guy, and the second one's about a girl that have sex with dead bodies.
Which is inside this vivarium. Kind of bigger space on the inside idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a ground beast care section, which is. I
mean, I can see that that's not really the world out there. It looks like I don't know how game engines are working, but I can see that that's not really loaded. That you can't actually just go straight. It needs to load it. The outside, it's just sort of a small representation of the outside, but it loads it when you actually do go through it.
This vivarium. Kind of bigger space on the inside.
Boom.
And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts.
That's freaking crazy.
It
just loaded.
And a Kneasel as well. So quite a variety.
I wonder if the
upgrade your gear
game tells the console.
So this is where we get into the
that when you start when this little green area is in frame, start loading that world in the background because our player might walk through it. He's looking at it, so start loading things. Let's get ahead of the game.
Vivarium. Kind of bigger space on the inside idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a grabhorn and a mooncalf and a niffler and a Kneasel as well. So quite a variety.
Oh my god, he's just like a big puppy.
They're so cute.
Gentle giant.
Oh my god, they're together. Oh, that's so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur.
Mooncalf looks dumb as hell. It looks adorable, but it just looks like a dumb thing that just does not know what's going on anytime.
Because when you touch the animals, you get some fur leftovers. That's so. Oh my god.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland, you can find these beast dens.
Is that why this loaded so fast? It's not really a huge area to roam around.
And feeding them.
Is that an orange kitty cat back to you?
Well, and to build that relationship with.
It's off to the left now. Yeah, it's still to the left, but I can see it.
So you can actually
by the wall.
Conjure things in this.
Oh, it's a fox. Oh, you're going over to it.
The house, the cottage.
It did look like a kitty cat. It is a freaking kitty cat.
So we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area.
Oh my god.
Are purely cosmetic.
It's a tabby.
Really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness.
Look how.
No, this is like I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole area.
Kneasel.
To personalize. This is like cool. It's like you have
the bush. Oh my god.
a personalized fish tank, so to say. just for the creatures. I love it.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's
It's like
also,
Dreams.
You're saying inside.
It's like you're playing the game Dreams. You just make your own video game
So as you
world in a video
progress
game.
in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beast in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually.
Hello, so
you're
snapping,
really
they're just snapping.
building the progression for yourself here.
So cool.
In addition, there's also a toy box. where you
I see
can
that it costs
play with
something.
beasts.
It said like
You'll
62
see
out of
here, yeah, so you
999,
can,
like
there's
999
toys
what?
in it, and each beast has their own favorite toys. So as you can imagine, the moon calf really likes the moon ball, or the Neasel as like a little cat really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super
wow.
cute.
Oh my god.
Watching them, it's so cute.
He went
Really
went
wanna
past it
hammer
because he's such an
home,
idiot.
Is that the world is a dangerous place, and so by going
Stupid
and
moon
rescuing
calf.
these beasts and bringing them back here,
I don't know what's
by
going
caring
on.
for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material.
Of course
So
there are.
instead, you're caring for them. You're
Those
giving them a home.
maggots.
Right. Oh my god, this Raphorn is just gigantic. But he looks like my dog. He looks like my dog right now for sure.
He looks like your dog.
Oh, you could actually name them as well. So like your dog.
So getting back into that.
Yeah, call it your
personalization,
dog.
You know, yeah, we
That's its name,
like
your
throwing-
dog.
Oh, here's a Graphorn in here. Like, this can be named.
Now you can
whatever
use-
Andrew's about
the-
to name them.
Oh, wait, how was he typing without...
Names.
How did he do that? I didn't see the keyboard move at all.
Created this really nice.
What the heck? How did he do that?
And you can get additional vivariums, correct? It's a different kind of.
On a dev version, I guess they probably has a keyboard.
Keeping
Yeah.
your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big
Is that
part
why
of
things
this
are loading so
as well.
fast? Is this
As
not
you progress
actually
through
on a
the story, you
PS5?
can unlock more vivariums. So as you can see, this
Oh
one's
my
more
God.
meadow themed, big, open, bright. But there's other ones, say like a
Every
swamp.
tree is selectable? What?
And it's really a visual effect to and more space for your beast.
Oh, so it's like those. So when we're inside the room requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one entrance and then some shrubbery going on in the right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Ah. Oh, you put trees in here too. Oh my goodness.
And another thing with the beast care that I think is great, you know, tying back to.
Oh my god, and I was saying I was like a Bob Ross painting. Someone should freaking recreate a Bob Ross painting in this world right here.
Kind of thing that you did with like the broom, where the broom is not just a method of travel, it's actually built in and integrated into the world. In
You
the
can
same
also
way,
clean
like,
with
beast
it.
care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to.
Yeah, everything
Everything.
connects. So as you progress through the missions, you'll expand the space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to unlock the gameplay here and unlock new conjurations and different things to play around with. In the open world, it's in those
The
different,
physics of the way it moves when it's...
different environments.
It looks so real.
Combat and conflicts and bandit camps.
I wonder if the larger you make it, the more it
Those things
wobbles.
are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these things have a way of connecting. Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything. That's found throughout the world. Forgeables are used for recipes. So really everything's like a cycle and keeps you coming back.
But even with the story that's being told too, I think people know who Poppy is and that she has no
I don't.
particular affinity for beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we're seeing here, you know, you're going to be venturing out into the world, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, even of kind of like your interactions with beasts in that narrative.
Right.
So, you know, you bringing up Poppy, there are more kind of mysteries to discover and things to discover out in the world that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own stuff that just kind of make this all just kind of like the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you think about what you?
Leo wants the stream to end.
I mean, I'm just so blown away by how beautiful it looks. The open world seems so detailed and there's so many things to do, and like the combat, we're gonna spend like 2 weeks or more just breaking it down by pieces.
Hey, I'd
There's
like to
just
know
so
what the
to this world.
completion
Like,
time would
so
be
I'm
to
happy
complete the
that I
story and
did
to
this
100% it.
overall gameplay.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've
Just the tip.
got more for you to discover and find on your own. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the Collector's, Deluxe, and Digital Deluxe Edition. We're gonna wrap things up.
That's a lot of versions that will give you that.
A little
Okay.
surprise for you. Bye.
Surprise? Surprise? What's a surprise? It's like one more thing. They've learned from Apple. The best in the business when it comes to showcasing things. Uh-oh. The hell is that? I guess if you know the movies and the books, you know what that means. I don't know. Wow. I'm Dan, First Person Looter, and I was reacting to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase 2. That was great. See ya. Bye.